It was a special night here in Orchard Park.
It wasn't about the game. It was about the fans.
I'm looking forward to the weather in Jacksonville.
This is the Buffalo Plus Podcast.
All right, welcome back to the Buffalo Plus Podcast. Mike Catalana, Dan Fates, I am Jenna Cottrell. Please be sure to like, comment, subscribe, and share. We're going to get into the finale here at Highmark, the fact that there was a football game, as well as where the Bills are at now heading into the Wildcard weekend as they will travel to meet the Jacksonville Jaguars. First things first, though, let's talk about today. You were down on the field, Dan. I always start with you, Mike, but you were on the field.
Yeah.
You could feel the energy. The final game at Highmark, what was this like?
You felt the energy a lot early. It was, Josh being the last player to ever be introduced here at Highmark Stadium. That was electric. The football game, maybe because it meant absolutely nothing, took a little bit away from it, and then it ramped up a lot at the end. When Mr. Brightside came on for the last time here at Highmark Stadium, I was just kind of focused on Sean McDermott. Even he was soaking in that last moment. Players, the same thing, and then obviously all of the emotion after the game.
I'm feeling it a lot right now because I think this is a special moments that we get in this stadium, right? It's pretty empty. Awesome for the fans. They deserve to celebrate. They have had so many memories in this place. I think of the building itself. I made a copy of my original first ever pass for Orchard Park. I have it here.
Are you going to cry?
No, but it brought back a lot of memories. So this is a copy of this thing is nowhere near what we wear now, which is all digital and facial recognition. Because it was a game against the Vikings here. And I thought about all the stuff that has gone on here. And now when I sit and look at it empty, that feels a little more emotional. Because when the crowd's going, it's about what the game's going on and what's happening with everything else. You feel the building when we're here right now. I think it's kind of cool looking at this place. I don't think she wants to go anywhere, but they're going to go across the street next year, but it was a good send-off for everybody.
There's been so much magic in this stadium. The fans know that. I thought the way the Bills handled it at the end was awesome. They played Mr. Brightside late. Then they did the shout song. Then they did What a Wonderful World. Then they played the Goo Goo Dolls. The Goo
Goo Dolls was cool.
The Goo Goo Dolls, and that was a moment where Trey White and Reed Ferguson, obviously guys that have been in Buffalo a long time. I know Trey wasn't here last year, but he's someone that knows the fabric of Western New York. To see them watching the video montage, and it looked like Trey had tears in his eyes.
Yeah, that was really cool. And again, Josh got off the field quick. Sean got off the field quick. There were so much security. Yeah. There were yellow jackets everywhere, security members. There were also a lot of sheriffs and police officers. It was one of those things that when I first looked, I was like, oh, there's a cop. Oh, there's another cop. There's a lot of cops. They did not want to have any extracurricular activities after the game, but there was that moment. Nobody left when they started playing that video montage. And the clips are all over our TikTok, our Instagram, our YouTube shorts of just Trey White kind of soaking in that moment. And he stops. We're all kind of filming him as he's walking off. And he stops and says, hang on, I want to see what the people did before me. And
cool.
That was what was really special. The jerseys, electric. The best jersey combination I have ever seen with the red helmet and all of that stuff.
Yeah.
Cool.
That was very much the emotion of it after the game. I think when there was the finality of it, that was really cool.
I think it was a really cool way to send off the stadium because of the amount of moments here, but also to have the homage to the red helmets and those jerseys and to have Josh be the last player introduced. I thought it was a really well done job. And I know it's an emotional topic, but I felt like it was handled in the right way. And Sean McDermott said earlier this week they wanted to respect that. And I think they did a good job reflecting
And then
that.
you had Steve Tasker and Thurman Thomas out at the beginning. Steve did drop the mic, which was great. Thurman was wearing Bruce's jersey because I don't think Bruce was able to be here. And then you had Jim Kelly out there and Andre Reed and Darryl Talley and all those guys
come out. And then at the half, I'm going to point, but they had Marv up on the big screen doing a tribute. That was really cool as well.
I think about this, we've talked a lot this past week, whenever you're watching this on Monday morning and stuff like that. But that, whether it's emotional and things like that. I remember, Mike, you've sold houses before. Our realtor, Amy, shout out Amy, when she sold our house, it was our first house that we brought our first daughter home, our first two kids home. It was the house that we got married in, all of those things. And she told me, you don't sell the memories. like that stays, and the memories that people had. I think that's also what's so special about this place is that it brought so many memories to people, and those memories will continue after this stadium is a parking lot.
Yeah, and also you look across the street and you're like, dang, that's going to be a beautiful new home for this team.
Like tailgating's all going to be the same.
Yeah.
Like it's not even like they're moving to downtown Buffalo. Like
Yeah.
like all those things.
I was thinking about that. That would really feel very
That would
different.
feel
It would feel
different.
different. I feel like the tailgating today would have felt like the last tailgate here at the Hammers lot or all those things. Like this is going to be a great stepping stone for what is next for what this Bills team and their fans, honestly, they deserve. I don't mean to, this isn't a time to poo-poo the stadium or anything like that, but it's going to be really cool to be across the street in a brand new state-of-the-art facility that these fans, these players, and everybody deserves.
And I think it was handled in the right way. You're excited for that next chapter,
Yep.
but you paid tribute to
Homage.
the end of an era here, and you did it in the right way.
I think that's a great word to say they deserve it because this franchise for a while was behind the times in the NFL, right? They weren't close at all. And the building is old and it is dated. And we all love it,
Yes.
but it needs to be replaced. If you want to play in the big leagues, and the Bills are big league,
Correct.
Yeah.
you need the facility that goes with it. And there's a lot of amenities that go with that. And while you're saying is you bring the memories, you absolutely do.
Yeah.
Like you think about all. There's people who have talked to us about the War Memorial, the old stadium.
Yes.
Yes.
The rock pile.
The rock pile.
Yep.
And saying, "Liz, I remember going there with my dad or
Yep.
my mom and doing whatever," and they brought those here. Well, now it goes over to the new place. But yes, there's plenty of time to talk about the new building. This place went out on a great note.
And I think about too was Sean was probably one of the more outspoken people throughout the week, and I thought he did a phenomenal job of navigating those emotions
Yeah.
and paying tribute to Marv and everybody and the players, Kelly in that era, and Ferguson, like all of that stuff with the helmets, all of that stuff. I lost my point.
You thought he did a good job with the balancing.
Oh, you talk about deserving it. We asked a lot of people. We talked about the best memories here.
Yeah.
And he talked about the Taron Johnson pick six, okay? And he said that was when we were coming up. They're up.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
they are a perennial Super Bowl team. That is what Sean McDermott has built. That's what this front office has built. And it feels fitting to get to take this team, Josh Allen, James Cook, up to the level with them.
Yeah.
I was-
The house that Josh built. That's
The
what
house
we
that
all
Josh
say.
built.
I got a chance to say hi to Darryl Talley, and I think about Darryl when I think of the comeback game because those guys were, just the way they played. And that comeback team won that game here, but then went on the road and won. And I think that's what this team can take with them. Like, there's nothing about the comeback game. I'm just thinking in terms of those guys because there's a sense almost like, well, the Bills won and they would win their games here in Orchard Park. And they did. But they had a year where everybody was down. They ended up being a team that had to play that first weekend and then they won on the road. This team now is going to have to do that as they transition. And you see those guys and you go, there was tough times. Even though they went to four straight Super Bowls. It didn't all go linear, like we say. And so
Never
I think
does.
about that for this team now, leaving this place, and it feels a little like, this place is done.
Right, 5 divisional titles, hosting home games here. Now you're the 6th seed. Now, okay, this is your adversity. It's been an up and down year. Now go on the road and prove it.
You said something in a car ride a couple of weeks ago that has stuck with me. It was not about football at all, but I can't even remember what we were talking about. But you said it never goes the way you think it will. But that doesn't mean it's going to end up bad.
Right.
And we obviously have no idea how this will end up in terms of the Bills postseason and all that stuff. But what this has been with Sean McDermott coming to the team, Brandon Beane, Josh Allen, like it never went the way you expected it to. But that doesn't mean that it's not been such a rise for this franchise.
It has been. And it's funny you said that about Sean because he is the spokesperson for this team.
Mm-hmm.
Josh is phenomenal. Josh is the best player in the history of the franchise. But I don't think of him as that player. He talks a lot and he's out there, but in terms speaking for the franchise.
Speaking for the franchise, he is the community.
Oh, no doubt.
He does all
Yes,
of
yeah.
that. He is the face of it. But the voice, I agree. I think a lot of it is Sean.
It's not Terry Pagula. He owns the team. Phenomenal that for him
That's a
that
good
he's
point.
got that. And it's not really Brandon Beane either, though Brandon, when he speaks, very well for the franchise. But it comes down to Sean, and I
agree.
think he gets all of that.
Yep.
Yeah.
I think he feels all of that, and I think he takes that with him as this team isn't going to be in this building. They're going to be in other people's buildings now trying to continue this season and see what they can do.
Do we want to start with Jags and then go to what happened at the game today, or do we want to flip-flop?
Well, we can talk a little bit about the game today.
Okay. Okay.
Go ahead.
I thought I liked Josh taking the one snap. All for that. I thought that was great. Mitch, I thought he played pretty well. And we talked about this in the press box, the fact that, he's someone that hasn't played at all this season. In a pinch in the postseason, you saw the Chiefs need it with Chad Henne. It was nice to see Mitch get some play on the field.
I think this will help confidence going forward.
Yeah.
No.
Well, you were laughing.
Why not?
Why not? Because it was all backups. If Josh played, it would have been all the starters.
No, I'm saying this for Mitch. It was good for Mitch.
Yeah,
He
all
get
the
some
confidence.
confidence going
I
forward.
agree. I think Mitch is now he deserves a nice paycheck and a nice contract from another team. Mitch could be Mitch may be a Pro Bowl quarterback.
Well, no.
Or the Jets team has just quit.
Well, Keon Coleman lit it up today.
He
though.
really did. He made a couple
So
of
this
plays.
is an orchestrated attack.
Yes.
We were planning it out in the press box. Maybe.
We're like, oh.
But the difference is, I know we talked before in the pregame stuff about how, you were talking about how I want to see Josh do a drive or two. I want to see him build confidence.
Josh is too good to have played in this game.
A, that. And B, for me, seeing Keon Coleman out there making some plays, okay, good for him. I don't expect him to be anyone that the Bills lean on in the postseason. But for Mitch, he has not gotten a ton of run really at all this season. So I think it was important for him to just have some game reps as we head into the playoffs.
Sure.
Yeah, if you need him for a series, 2 series, whatever happens in the playoffs, right? Because we've seen that happen. I think the biggest thing to come from this game was the injuries.
Yeah.
Matt Prater, I don't know. I don't think he's going to be kicking in the playoffs. I mean, if he had to come out of this game and couldn't kick, it's difficult to depend on a kicker. You don't really have a backup kicker.
Yeah.
Like if he goes in a playoff game, let's just say they're going to try to give it a shot, and he gets hurt in the first quarter, you are screwed.
Yeah.
They're going to be trying to bring a kicker in here this week, I would think. And then Max going out with the ankle, they had to play guys. You talked about it before. Like, you can't bench everybody. You can't leave everybody out. But Max getting hurt late, I thought, when you look at the game, it's like those were the two things that
Sean
stuck out.
talks about that. And it was, I think Steve Tasker asked him about bringing up players throughout the week. And Sean pretty much said, we wish we didn't have to play Trey or Max, but we were out of elevations from the practice squad, which kind of sucks.
That does suck.
Like, I understand the league rules and all of that stuff. That just feels like something that can be easily fixed because, look, you should be able to elevate everybody this game. Like at one point, when I saw Sam Franklin playing safety, I was like, oh, we're at this point. Like you're just putting out bodies.
Yes.
Yeah.
I'm with you. I think that's something the league can look at for this last week of the year when you're in this circumstance. I mean, whatever. I mean, look who the Jets were putting out there.
I have never – that was one of the first times I've seen, full quit from a team. Like, they were 1-2-3 Cabo. Like, they were 100%.
I can't say I blame them.
Okay, but we were walking in the tunnel after one of my friends, Dom Tibbetts, friend of the channel, was walking up, and, Jets players were like, "It's cold, get me out of here." That not only did they say that, they played
that way. Yeah.
That was shocking. It felt very preseason-y.
Yeah.
Especially for a team that has a lot of young players out there who have done absolutely nothing, and a coach.
They're going to keep Aaron Glenn around. His team is depleted of talent. There's no question of that. How can you judge a head coach when they don't have NFL talent on the roster? But they were playing like they didn't want Aaron Glenn to be around.
Yeah.
That was the shocking part.
No buy-in. Yeah. No,
But
it's true.
It ended up being kind of good for the Bills. They could just play this game the way it was. They got the win.
Yeah.
They end up in the 6th spot, and they get Jacksonville.
Yeah, I want to go back to Prater because I do think that would be – obviously we saw how Michael Badgley and everything played out with that situation. That is definitely the biggest concern. Obviously Maxwell Harrison, you hate to see that. You don't really know what the situation is with that. But how big of a issue is this for the Bills in their kicking game?
Well, look, they were already not happy with Badgley. They tried to bring other kickers in. They didn't see anybody they wanted. They let him kick. Then they got rid of him right away. I don't know if there's somebody out there, but they're going to need to sign somebody. I don't think there's any doubt. And you just think about it. Like I said, there's one kicker on the roster.
Yep.
And so
Yeah.
it makes
Kicker on
it
game
very
days.
it
Yes,
makes it
yeah.
very, very difficult to plan. And you go into a playoff game, you can't afford to have those kind of issues. And Prater's kicked well for this team.
Yeah,
Yep.
he has.
But it doesn't feel like he's going to be ready for Sunday.
No, it does not. All right, last little notes on this game. Some incentives were hit. Dawson Knox getting the touchdown, the yards, $200,000 bonus for him. Ty Johnson.
Got a kid.
Yeah.
Diapers are expensive.
Yeah. Ty Johnson also hitting his bonuses for two touchdowns. So I thought that was nice to see. And James Cook getting some run in this game.
Yes,
Actually
we're
wanna
recording
check.
this at
Yeah, you want to check how
Yeah,
he's doing?
at
'Cause
10 o'clock.
literally 10 o'clock on
It is
the
currently
dot.
10 o'clock. We do not know the time of the Jags game. We know there will be in Jacksonville, and Derrick Henry is trying to chase down James Cook for the rushing title
It's
lead.
still 10-3, so let's see.
We'll let
Derrick
Jenna
Henry-
do that. But,
Derrick
so when
Henry has-
Derrick Henry started
112 yards.
112 yards.
he's almost there.
At the half.
I think he needed
At
150.
the half?
Yeah, he needed
At the
153.
Well,
James Cook said he was going to be rooting hard for Pittsburgh's defense.
yeah, well,
And Sean also was asked about, he said he was aware of James Cook in the rushing title. And he's like, yeah, I thought I'd play him for a quarter. That was the plan. And then he goes throughout the week, he went, that seems like a bad idea. And then he really only got 2 snaps.
Yeah.
yeah. I mean, when you look at what Henry's doing, he might have needed to play a little bit and a little bit
But-
more than they would have wanted.
Which is, hopefully Derrick Henry cools off because
it would be
James
great
Cook
to see
has
him
been
win.
phenomenal
Yep.
this season. It would be awesome to see him get that award, that honor. But I also get Sean McDermott and the team being like, what's best for the team as we reach the playoffs.
Yeah.
And that's the perfect segue to, all right, gentlemen, the postseason is here. We know the Bills are playing the Jags, like Mike mentioned. We don't know the time as we are recording this, but your initial impressions as we get ready to head to Jacksonville for a meeting with the Jags.
Yeah, look, they have been impressive, especially in the second half of the year. They were that team that you
Yeah.
were like, well, Houston's going to be the best team. And then it was the Colts early, and the Colts were playing well. Then they started to fade, and you're like, oh, Jacksonville. And then you guys mentioned they went to Denver and
That was the
blew
big
out
game.
the Broncos.
That was a big game.
And so now you're saying maybe this team is good. And, first-year head coach, Trevor Lawrence, everybody's been waiting to see what he's done, and that defense has been really good. I think it's going to be quite an atmosphere down there for a franchise that hasn't done much in the last few years.
Yeah.
I think of how Jacksonville has been a house of horrors. Mike,
Yes.
I still think they're going to come back and win
Yes,
that
they're gonna
9-6
win that
game
game.
against Urban Meyer. So maybe
Okay. We got the update here.
Oh.
So
1
this is
p.m.
1
Sunday.
p.m. on Sunday. Yes, 1 p.m. on Sunday
That's crazy
in
to me.
Jacksonville. A little bit surprised, but there is some marquee matchups in some other games too.
so status quo.
Yes, that's fair.
It is a regular Sunday 1
1
o'clock
p.m.
game.
yeah.
Maybe you
for the
fly a
Bills.
little under the radar.
Yeah. I'm surprised that Josh Allen isn't primetime TV.
Yeah.
Yeah, I hate that.
Yeah. Well, that's fine.
Yeah.
They have to go there and win.
Yes.
And then they see what happens.
So I think about
after
how
that.
Jacksonville has been a house of horrors. I think it's it's not my favorite NFL city. We'll put it that way. They do have a great Chili's, which we will be at. But they have a really good run defense. Maybe the best in the NFL. They have a really good defensive line. I totally forgot that Eric Armstead is in Jacksonville. He's a problem. Josh Allen Hines is a problem. Travion Walker. Their pass rush isn't great. Their rushing defense is really good. So that will be strength on strength. And that's been one of the problems when teams have been able to take away or neutralize James Cook. It's going to be up to the Bills to find something through the air. And you know that Josh can be Josh.
Yeah.
You're going to need Josh to be special.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Jacksonville has done a good job taking the ball away. I
Yep.
think they have 21. I don't know if they had today. I think they had 21 interceptions, which is 21 more than the Jets
That's true.
for the
That is
year.
fair.
Same as us.
And,
Yes.
so, yeah, they're a good football team. They're a good football team that hasn't been a playoff team. So that really is, I think it's a big plus for the Bills in the
Yes.
first round of the playoffs.
In that experience, and the
Yep.
Bills can maybe lean on that as they head down to Jacksonville. You mentioned the defense. Also, Trevor Lawrence has just looked like a better player.
Yeah.
He's been able to use his legs more. That has opened up the offense for them. I think this will be a really interesting matchup heading into the wild card round.
It's also an interesting matchup because they're one of the few teams the Bills haven't played this year.
Yeah,
Like
that's
we
very
were,
true.
we were always
yeah.
talking about this, like who's going to be working on the advanced analytics of kind of this upcoming game for the the staff to kind of look ahead. So that's something they haven't seen. And Liam Cohen is going to be in the running for Coach of the Year, along with Vrabel and Ben Johnson. But he has done, it's a factor of coaching matters. And opening up what Trevor Lawrence and kind of reaching his potential this season, that will be a test.
Yeah. It's interesting that you said that's a team they haven't played this year. If they were to win, they would play Denver. You would assume,
unless
the Chargers knock off the Patriots, but they would play Denver, the other team that they haven't played this year amongst the top teams in the conference. So, I think it's going to be fun. It's going to be different. We've been kind of used to sitting here at home for 1 or 2 games before going to Kansas City.
Yeah.
Kansas City's not around, but it's going to take road wins to get it done.
So here's the other thing, too, about that Kansas City. And like the Chiefs had always won the division. They had always been home. And it was always that thing of, well, can they go and win on the road? The Bills haven't been able to win a road playoff game in this Josh Allen era.
Yes.
This is what makes you one of the GOATs, is for Josh to do this and to maybe carry an offense that isn't the most talented, like at times we have seen with Kansas City, and that is what makes you one of the all-time greats. And I think we can sit there and we've been critical of the wide receivers and what this offensive game plan is. Josh can cement himself with a run here in the postseason.
No doubt.
To another level. And we have seen when Josh puts on the cape and go to that next level, that there's not a team that can stop him because he's the best player in the league and in the world. So that is where you should have optimism. And the defense has been playing better as of late.
Yeah,
so
that is very true. And I'm looking at the weather for Jacksonville. Obviously, this is like the extended forecast, but it does look like there's a cold front coming through. So it's 80 degrees on Saturday and then 68 degrees on Sunday.
68.
So that seems. I always worry about
shorts
sometimes. I always worry sometimes though a cold weather team going to like super hot. I know obviously it's not.
Oh, I see
but
what
just
you're
in
saying.
terms of that aspect, because that is such a change up from what the Bills are used to.
Yep.
But 68 sounds pretty nice. So we'll have to see how things. You want to give a shout out?
Yes, Elliot Eisler. Got a chance to meet him. I was coming back up to the press box. I went down right before the game started. Had a nice conversation with him. Big fan of Buffalo Plus. It was kind of just a chance thing. I mean, I'm walking up, and he
meant
was
to be
very cool to get a chance to thank you for liking, commenting, and subscribing to the channel.
Preston in section 116, somewhere over there.
Pointing?
He was yelling at me saying, give me a shout out on Buffalo Plus. Love all your guys' work. So, Preston, here's your shout out. Comment in below.
Yes. Anything else?
I just am looking around. Is this not cool that we're here?
Oh, absolutely.
I mean, this is,
1000%.
it is, like, one person over there. Is that Matt Bove?
Yeah, it's
that
both.
is Matt Bove.
Matt Bove. It's us. It's quiet. Like,
And
this
there's
is,
a little bit of snow, which I really love.
this is
It was perfect
really
weather
cool.
for the final game at Highmark.
Yeah.
I mean, we have been in this place when it is so loud and so crazy. This is nice.
Seems
Very
like all the
peaceful.
seats are still here.
Nobody stole a seat?
Nobody. I did see a funny tweet. I think it was Greg Thompson, who's like, he had the Indiana coach Sig, or what's his last name?
Signetti?
Yeah, like that gif of him like scowling.
Yes.
Like Bills fans looking for a seat leaving Highmark Stadium.
Yeah, Sean was worried that people were going to smuggle wrenches in to unbolt their seats.
Yeah.
You can buy these, right?
I think they're
selling
selling everything, like bathroom signs, everything.
them? Oh.
Can you buy the trough?
There were a lot of
God.
a lot of memories about troughs people were
Yes.
commenting in.
I
Yeah.
can only imagine. Okay. All right, that'll do it for us.
Yeah.
Thank you for joining us here on Buffalo Plus.
Plenty of coverage all week long. We'll get you ready for Jacksonville.
Yeah, we'll have plenty more as we roll into the postseason. Welcome. We're here. It's a long season. Now
Chili's
it's time
in
for the
Jacksonville.
playoffs.
No free ads, but please, we're coming for you.
Yes.
Best Diet Coke in the biz.
That's it.
There's also a great sushi place that we've been to.
I know. That was, wow, that's like 9 years ago?
That's
8 years ago?
crazy.
8 years ago, whatever it was.
All right, for Mike and Dan, I am Jenna. Please be sure to like, comment, subscribe, and share, and we will catch you next time here on Buffalo Plus.
All right.
Dan, I think you let it roll for like 2 seconds, just like the empty stadium shot.
This is the Buffalo Plus Podcast.